Thank you for listening to the Yoga Therapy Hour podcast. The episode that you have chosen is no longer available on this platform. If you go to the show notes, you'll see that we now have a Patreon page. You can find the link in the show notes. And by going to Patreon, you will have full access to all of the audio files from season 1, 2, and beyond. We appreciate your support on Patreon. It will allow us to bring you more content in audio, video, and written form, as we hope to expand into transcripts for each and every episode. We appreciate you, and we're so happy that you're willing to support us. Thank you so much. And I saw on social media, you'd said, I turned in my draft and my publisher really crushed it, or something like that. You said there was some pretty harsh feedback. How do you get to that point where you're willing to put it all on the paper? And this is a very yogic concept, I think. And just let it be what it is, and then let people read it and trash it and tell you how it could be better. Like, how do you do that?
I think you will understand this the best, Amy. Going back to your point of this being very yogic in philosophy. So I tell any of my students, my clients, yoga is like writing and writing is like yoga. You show up without being attached to the outcome. Show up daily. Some days you'll have 10 minutes, some days you'll have 2 hours. But it's like exercising those muscles, and all of a sudden you realize in Tadasana you're not moving. Or when you do your downward dog, you realize exactly how your elbows are supposed to be, how you need to be like a triangle. Writing is much like that. And I think the more you do it, the less ego and emotions are involved. So it's a very healthy level of detachment. I'm sure you've seen that with your students. Like the first time they show up on the yoga mat, they want to do a handstand. They might not have even done like cat-cow in their life before. Or just a tabletop, because that's the human mindset. And I know I used to be that person. I wanted to get into a wheel pose when I started my teacher training. And I'm like telling myself, but your muscles aren't developed. But the other part of me is like, but I'm doing my teacher training. I should be in a wheel pose. So I think the human mindset and psyche is very similar, whether it's writing, yoga, or anything else. So the first thing I would say is to have discipline in place. Just the way we do it for yoga, it's non-negotiable, right? So writing has to be that. It shouldn't be something you go to if there is nothing else. It is something that you do just as you do your asana, meditation, cooking, walking, whatever makes a part of your daily rituals, right? The other thing is your first draft is just getting stuff out there. So for a lot of people, they edit when they write, which to a certain degree might be fine because, whether your story is headed to Greenland or Australia, you want to have a sense, but then not to over edit. This is something that my third advice would be, and a lot of people might not agree, but this works for me. Don't overshare your work. I have seen that with a lot of writers, like, they write an excerpt, they put it up on Facebook, then they get that feedback, and then the mind games happen because then you think, I'm not good enough. Oh, this is the best thing. I'll never be better than this. I think Elizabeth Gilbert talks about this in one of her podcasts where, after she wrote Eat, Love, Pray, she just felt like there was a cloud. She would never write anything better than that. So have a very intimate, trustworthy group of 2-3 people that you share your work with at the most, not too many. Because that early feedback when things are in the raw stage, we are like sandpapered wound at that point. The skin is that thin. And everything goes in, good or bad. So be very fiercely protective of your creative time, your creative energy, and who you discuss your work with. That's the other thing, right? Like we all have this stock of creativity on a daily basis because there are other things to be done too. Either I can talk about it, then where's my energy to write about it?
Hey, did you know that each week on the podcast, we give you a free infographic that you can use with your clients, your students, or for your own personal studies? So check out the show notes. There's a link on where you can sign up. And not only will we send you the infographic from this week, but if there's a topic that's similar in the future, we'll also put you on that list. And we'll never sell your data or send you things that you haven't asked for. please share the episode with a friend or colleague. We're so grateful you're willing to share. Feel free to continue these conversations on our private Facebook group called Yoga Therapy Hour Podcast with Amy Wheeler. Remember, we have a mobile app coming out May 2nd, 2022 that tracks mental health and so much more using the foundations of yoga and Ayurveda. The Gold Zone ebook is coming out May 2nd, 2022. This book will help you to create more joy, freedom, meaning and purpose in life, and find deeper connections to yourself and others. Our goal is to help you feel less anxiety, less depression, less chronic pain, less insomnia. And I think you'll find this pair, both the book and the new app, will help you do just that.